It is a complete course project. Please learn them in order. This is part 3, lighting. Okay, now we want to light our scene. So before that, go to outliner. I scroll back. So I will hide my group. So I click on this one. So that means you have only mobile main group. So I will hide this one. So now I want to set my infinity background. So go to polygons and click on polyplane and press R in keyboard and scale little bit big. So like this. So I want to give subdivision width and height to 1. So right click and choose edge. I will select this edge, shift right click and choose extrude edge and press W. You want to move in Y. So I will select my edge over here, shift right click and choose bevel edge. So I want to decrease my fraction amount and increase segment to 6 or 5. So right click and choose object mode. I will select this object and press R and scale in X very big. So that means when you go closer, so I will deselect in outside. So it will looks like infinity background look over backside. So now I want to rename my outliner. So click on this polyplane and rename as BG01 and press enter. So now before we start lighting, you want to set the camera view. So click spacebar in your keyboard. So that means you got 4 views. So I will click and drag over here. So that means you got only 2 views. So here I want to set as a perspective view. Here I want to set this as a camera view. So before that, go to rendering and click on create camera. So it will automatically created in center of grid. So I want to scale this one very big. So now I will minimize my outliner. So go to panels, perspective and choose camera 1. So now you want to navigate this one. So that means your camera view will be set. So see here, it will not shows our texture. Press 6 in keyboard on this view. So that means it will shows our texture. So you want to set exactly straight. Don't keep like this. You want to keep exactly the camera view as straight. So now go to view, camera settings and choose overscan and go to view, camera settings and choose resolution gauge. So here we have in default 960 in 540. So the image width and height is too high when you start lighting. So before we start lighting, you need to go to render settings in common tab. So here you need to set image size of 640 into 480. So it's enough for when we start lighting. So I will zoom in a little bit like this. So now go to view and choose select camera. So I will select my all camera values over here and right click and choose lock selected. So that means you cannot able to move the camera view. So now I want to hide my camera shape in perspective. So go to show and disable the camera. So that means it will not shows in perspective view. So like this. So now go to outliner. So I will select my mobile underscore main underscore group. So you want to rotate Y this as a -15. So you want to give little bit rotation for this side. So if it's in 0, so you cannot able to see the side details for our object. So I want to select my mobile main group 01. You want to give -15. So that means you able to see side details in your camera view. So like this. So now we want to make lighting. So before that, go to render settings. Here you need to choose mental ray. If you didn't have this mental ray option in render using tab, so you want to enable in settings and preference. Go to window, settings, preference and choose plugin manager. Scroll down and here you need to choose Maya to MR, load and auto load. So unclose. That means now you have this option in render using. So I want to choose mental ray. So here go to render option, you want to disable the enable default light. So before that I will click this one, click this viewport and click render button. See here I will not set any light in our scene, but it still shows my lighting in render. So because it has enable default light option turn on, so I turn off this one. So I will select my camera view and click render again. So now you cannot able to see anything because we didn't have anything set to here. So now I close my render settings. So go to quality tab. So before that you want to turn on this one, show advanced settings option. So in your quality tab, so I will close this one. So now we want to make lighting for our scene. So go to rendering. So click on area light over here. So it will automatically created in center of grid. Press R and scale. Press W, you want to move in Y. So I want to set in this side over here like this. So press E and rotate in Y like this. So I want to rotate little bit slanting over here, and press W and move little bit like this. So you want to keep in this area like this. So now I press T in keyboard. So I want to move this one over here. So T means target. So I want to move this one in Y. So you want to keep the area light over here. So I want click on this one and click render. So I got that spotlight over here. So I want to turn off my shadows in my output. So I will select my area light. So I will move little bit this side. So go to attributes editor. So I will go shadows. Here you turn off this ray trace shadows. So I will click on this one and click render. So now we didn't got any shadows for our scene. So this is what we want. So before that I want to set another area light for our ambient occlusion. So this is for our key light. So now click on another area light over here. Go to rendering, click on area light. So now press W and move the area light over here. So you want to place in front of your mobile. So here you want to rename this light as a ambient occlusion. So like this. So I want to rename my light as ambient occlusion. So I didn't want any intense over here. So I will give intensity to 0. So I turn off my ray trace shadow for this light. So go to mental ray option. You want to set go over downside over here. So here you have custom shader option. So click on this checker box over here. So it will open your render nodes. So go to mental ray option. So here you need to search MIA. So click on MIA. So ambient occlusion. So MIB ambient occlusion. So you want to type MIB over here. So and click on ambient occlusion, MIB ambient occlusion. So that means it will apply to your lens shader. So and give samples to 64 and maximum distance to 5 like this. So I will click over here and click render. So now you see I will zoom in little bit. So now you see the contact shadow will be available in this area. So this is what we expect. So before that I want to increase my maximum distance to 10. So I will keep this image for comparison. So click this one for comparison and click render again. So now you see, so our darkness will little bit increased for our mobile. So now I want to decrease my specular color for this object. So I will select my area light 1. So I will rename this light as key underscore light. So this is a key light. So I want to reduce my intense to 0.7 something. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render. So see here, I will have reduced my brightness. So I will select this object over here. So right click and choose material attributes. So and here you need to reduce the specular color to little bit less. So and then you want to select this one also. So front underscore detail. So right click and choose material attributes. So here also you need to reduce the specular color, so little bit. So now I keep this image for comparison and click render. So now you see our specular color will be reduced. So I will compare like this. So you want to do same thing on back side. So I will select the back panel, right click and choose material attributes. So I want to reduce my specular color over here. So and then select this one also, right click and choose material attributes. So you want to reduce the specular color like this. So before that, see here I will forgot this Z logo. So I will select my Z logo over here. So this one is the glass. So if you didn't able to select this one, go to window outliner. So expand this mobile main underscore group. So and then select the logo, right click and choose assign new material. So this one is the steel. So I will go to mental ray and choose Maya material X. So in Maya material X1 you want to go to preset and choose chrome and choose replace. So before Maya material X1, so I want to rename as logo underscore Maya material X. So logo underscore Maya material X1. So and press enter. So like this. So now I want to select this view, keep this image for comparison and click render. So okay, now we got the specular color will be highly reduced for our objects. So now I want to give background of ambient occlusion. So I will select my BG mesh. So right click and choose assign new material. Here you need to choose surface shader. So like this, surface shader. In out color you need to give, so I will click on my out color, and here you need to give mental ray and choose MIB ambient occlusion. So MIB ambient occlusion for my BG. So and choose 64 samples and maximum distance you want to give at least 30. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render. So now see, you got infinity background look over here. So here we have nice shadows, so like this. So now we got perfect lighting. So now I want to disable this reflection for this ground plane. So I will select my ground. So I will keep this image for comparison. I will select my ground. So right click and choose my select the ground. So go to edit, delete by type and choose history. So now we have two options over here. So surface shader 1 and then BG01. So in nearby you have BG shape 1. So I will select my BG shape 1. So click on my render stats, and here you need to disable this one. So visible in reflections. So I will disable this one. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. So see here, it will hide our reflections. So over here, so this is what we expect. So now we got exact mobile render over here. So you need to add reflection like this, so in cross. So that means you want to create one polyplane. So I will create polyplane over here. Press R and scale little bit big. So press E in keyboard. So you want to rotate this one in 90, rotate this one in minus 90. So press W and move in Y. So and then move in Z. So I want to scale in Z like this and X like this. So you want to keep exact straight. So but you want to cover the half of the mobile like this. So you want to give divisions to 1, subdivision width and height to 1. So here you need to apply surface shader for this object. Right click and choose assign new material and choose surface shader. So here you need to go to surface shader 2. So I want to choose REF1, reflection 1. So I want to give out color to white like this. So you want to cover the half of our mobile. So you want to keep this one all the way back like this. So now I keep this image for comparison and click render again. Okay, so now see here. So I will compare. So now our reflection card will be shown, but I want to place reflection card on this area. So that means you want to move this reflection card little bit in X in this side. So I will keep this image and click render. So now our card will be moved little bit. So I want to move further. So I want to move further and keep this image for comparison and click render again. So now I want to move again further. So in X and render again. So I will keep this image and click render. Okay, this is what I expect, but I want it will comes up to down. So it has only the half of this area covered. So that means you want to scale this one very big. Press R and scale this one big. So and click, keep this image for comparison and click render. So see here it will be covered. So I want to move little bit in front. So press W and move in Z. So I will move in little bit X. So I will keep this image and click render. Okay, see here. So it will be covered perfectly. So now I want to have this card to be slanted little bit. So because it has straightly fixed, so I want to rotate little bit in E. So I want to rotate in Y little bit. So and keep this image for comparison and click render. So now see, so it will be slanted. So I want to move little bit in X. So I will move little bit in X. So and click render again. So see here, it will be perfectly aligned what we expect. So now we want to set another card for this side. So I will press Ctrl D to duplicate. So I will move this card over here. So I want to give rotations to 0. So sorry, I will give rotation 0 in Z. So now I want to take another render over here. So I will move in this side. So and press R and scale in X. So little bit thin. So for this object I will keep this image and click render. So see here we got nothing for changes. So I will keep this image for comparison. So I will move this one in X like this. So for cover this area. So see it will be shown in your camera view. So I will move little bit in Z back. So and move little bit in X. So and move little bit in Z. So now I keep this image for comparison and click render again. So nothing changes for this one. So now I want to move this one in X. So I will move exactly for this mobile. So and keep this image for comparison and click render again. Okay, now I see my card in over here, see here. So I will zoom in a little bit. So now you exactly see our card will be shown. So I will move very tiny bit in X. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. So it will be shown. So I want very tiny bit in X like this. I will keep this image and click render. Okay, so now it's add perfect reflection for this corner. So this is our final lighting for our scene. Before that, I want to reduce this screen intense little bit. So I will select my screen, go to attributes editor. So right click and choose material attributes for your screen. So and you want to reduce diffuse to 0.6. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. So now see your screen intense will little bit reduce. So that means your reflection will be shown clearly perfect. So for this corner and this area. So now we finish lighting. So now you want to check in full HD view. So go to view, select cam. So I want to go to channel box and layer editor. So right click on all values for your camera, right click and choose log selected. So that means select all my values, right click and choose unlock selected. So now go to render settings. Here you need to go to common tab. So here you need to choose HD 1080. So like this. So I will zoom out little bit further. So go to view, select cam. So I will select all my values and choose log selected. So I select my view and go to render settings. So here go to quality tab. So go to trace depth option, legacy option over in bottom side. You want to choose infinite sampling to legacy sampling mode. So go up. Here you need to choose maximum sample level to 2 and that's it. Now go to view, select cam. So you want to lock all the values for your camera. So and then click this view and click render again. So now we got perfect HD render over here. So now we want to see, in my case it will be shown this corner. So I want to adjust this plane little bit. So I want to scale little bit in X and press W and move little bit in side. So I want to take my render again. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. Okay, see here it will be clean. So in before frame we have some problem over here. So now it's clean over here. So this is what I expect. So now we complete our lighting of our scene. So now we want to make animation. So in next part, click the button to learn part 4 animation.